Good morning, Your Majesties. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. This week's shirt is my pink Texas shirt that King Father got for me back in 2023. So this is the shirt that I'm wearing this week, and I'm also going to be wearing it next week too. So you're going to be seeing me in this shirt this week and next week. Oh, and my hat too. You're going to be seeing me in my beanie too. So this week and next week, you're going to be seeing me in this outfit. Okay, so I have a story time for you guys. This one is called The Man Living in My Pool. Okay, and it goes, when I was 9, my father, mother, and I had moved into my grandma's old house in the countryside. She had died sometime before, and my mother had inherited the house. Excuse me. While my parents, along with my uncle, were unpacking, I had wandered over to the empty pool that was at the very back of the yard we had behind the house. I remember reaching the broken fence before I heard my father, "Samantha, get away from there." I span around and ran back to where my uncle recited on the back porch. Why can't I explore near the pool? It's not like I'll fall in," I asked, looking up at my uncle before turning to look back at the far end of the yard. The light from the porch light only leaving a dim light against the broken fence. "There's a man in there," was all he said to me before ushering me back inside. When he told me that night scared the life out of me. I never went back to the far side of the yard. I was only 9 at this time, but I could see the fear in his eyes. I never found out why he was so scared until many years later. My bedroom window overlooked the backyard, so every time I passed my window, I saw the dark pit that was the pool. One night, I took a chance and looked out the window, looking at the pool and the broken fence. I squinted, being too dark to see anything. I grabbed my torch and opened the window, shining it at the pool. I'll never forget what I saw that day. There was blood starting at the broken fence and the trail leading up to the shed that was just beside the porch. I screamed and dropped my torch, slamming the window shut and throwing myself into bed. My parents came running in. Dad with a baseball bat and my mom holding a magazine of sorts, demanding what happened. "There's blood going to the fence from the pool," I cried, getting up and grabbing my father's arm and pulling him to the window, picking up my torch and shining it where I had before. The same blood trail being lit up under the bright light of the torch. My father promised he would go investigate in the morning. When I woke up the next day, my father had told me that he went and looked at the blood trail, judging from the size of the trail and where it led. He told me it was probably an animal that hurt itself on the broken fence, and reminded me what my uncle had told me, to not go near the fence of the far side of the yard. That was the first of many strange things happening in that damn yard. A week or so after the blood trail, I woke up to find there was a bird impaled on the spiked top of the fence. My father wasn't home, but as I ventured outside to see where my mother was, I saw her pushing a dead animal of the spike before sweeping it into the empty pool with her broom. Mom, I called out. Her head snapped around to look at me, her body language showing she was angered by being watched. Samantha, get inside, she snapped at me, knowing that if I didn't listen to her, I'd be in trouble. I ran back inside. She didn't follow until a good 20 minutes later. I didn't dare ask what she was doing near the pool. Months passed, and I constantly see my mother the same time every day while my father was at work, pushing a new dead animal into the empty pool with her broom. Some were foxes that got caught on the small holes of the broken fence, death by starvation. Others were more birds or even stray cats that had fallen victim to the broken fence. I grew used to seeing blood or deceased animals. So whenever I saw something caught in the fence, I told my mother, and she just kissed my forehead and told me not to worry about it. Well, I would worry about it. One day, my father came home from work early, as he had forgotten his lunch, to find my mother sweeping yet another deceased cat into the pool from my room. I heard my father shouting at her, asking why she was doing this and for how long. I never heard my mother reply, but instead, I heard my father come back inside with the slam of the back door. Then a few moments later, the sweeping continued. Okay. I'm now 19. My parents got divorced quite a while ago for many reasons. My father had moved out to live in a town over around an hour or so from my mother's house. I saw him quite often, and I spoke to him every night over the phone. My mother's health has deteriorated over the years. Oh no. She had rheumatoid arthritis, causing it hard for her to move around without help. You see, after my father left, my mother and I stopped sweeping dead things into the pool as her joints became weak. As she refused to see a doctor or accept my help, she would just sit on the back porch and stare off into the distance, only coming inside to make meals. And when it became dark, one night my uncle had taken my mother away for the weekend to finally go see a doctor, and I was left alone in the house. I was on Skype to my boyfriend who lived in this city when I heard a large creaking sound come from my window. I excused myself and got up, opening the window and looking down at the yard, looking for the source of the noise. I grabbed my phone and turned the torch light on. That's when I saw it. A silhouette of a large hand curled around the bar of the fence, pulling itself up from what it seemed to be the pool. I couldn't take my eyes off the thing as I watched as it stood onto the side of the pool and looked up at my window. Its eyes stood out the most. They shone in the light. Oh, they shone in the light from my phone, like if you were to shine a slight on a dog or a cat's eyes. Its silhouette was human like, but if the limbs had been twisted out of shape. Its legs faced to the side instead of forward. Its arms were limp by its side. I stared at its face. I wish I hadn't. His face was mangled and bloody, like it had been attacked. Its mouth was set in a wide grin. I heard my boyfriend asking what's wrong, and as the creature started running towards the house, I remembered my uncle's words from a decade ago. There's a man in there. The end. Holy moly, that is so scary. That's so creepy, you guys. Let me know what you guys think of that story. That's gonna be it for today's video. Oh, do you guys want to see Annabelle and Adam, my bunny that I named? That's gonna be it for today's video. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Princess Peyton. Hit the red button to become your majesty and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I love you guys so much. You guys are the best human beings ever made, and you're the king of my heart in the song lyrics of Taylor Swift. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Stay spooky. Okay, love you guys. Bye. Mwah.